Coming up on Mountain News this morning, hundreds of Kentuckians gather for a special race meant to remember and honor U.S. veterans, and a local recovery center hosts an event to help support Eastern Kentuckians who are struggling with addiction.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6 o'clock on this Monday morning. Good morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you for waking up with us. And let's check in with Brandon for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, I have to fib on myself here first. So not fib on myself, I have to tell myself.
I should say, wait a minute.
I mean, anyway, so I woke up this morning at 3:53.
Okay.
So that was you should have seen me jump out of that bed. I messaged our producer. I'm up, because I tell her I'm up every morning just because, sometimes I wake up late. But I have never gotten ready so fast in my life. But I was scared.
It's funny because you woke up late and I woke up early. I beat my alarm by 3 minutes.
3 minutes? 3 minutes. Those 3 minutes are valuable.
Exactly. So there you go. But some of us were on time today. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's give a forecast for you as you head out the door this morning. We're looking again at some clouds out there in some spots like UVA-wise on the high knob camera. 59 over there, one of our cooler spots this morning. And it just tried to go out on us. But that's okay. We'll work with it. 49 in Clintwood, 63 in Hazard, 70 in Somerset and Monticello. So what a range this morning. A lot of folks in the 50s and 60s out there right now. That 49 in Clintwood is an oddity for sure. 85 this afternoon. 80 is the average high. The record high is 91, set back on this day in 2005. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. People in Leslie County are remembering a city leader who recently died at 78 years old. The obituary for former Hyden Mayor Eugene Stewart says he died Friday at Mary Breckenridge ARH. He was a three-time mayor of the city, serving from 1994 to 2006. Before that, he served on the Hyden City Council and served for the Kentucky River Area Development District, to name just a couple of his many achievements. Visitation will be today from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Walker Funeral Chapel in Hyden, with Masonic rites being performed at 7. The funeral will be Tuesday at 1 p.m. in the same location. Instead of flowers, the family requests for people to send donations to Hyden Masonic Lodge 664 or the Junior Diabetes Research Foundation Kentucky, Indiana chapter. Also, people in Johnson County are mourning the death of a beloved firefighter. 64-year-old Gary D. Melvin died Friday at his home. Melvin had more than 25 years of service to the Painesville Fire Department and the community as a whole. Well, the Oil Springs Fire and Rescue page shared a post about the news saying, quote, after a courageous battle against cancer, the signal 5555 was sounded for Painesville firefighter Gary Melvin, Unit 109, signifying the Almighty had called a brother, a father, a husband, and a friend home, end quote. He will be buried today at Highland Memorial Cemetery in Staffordsville. A tour bus with more than 60 Vietnam veterans made its way from Lexington to Louisville during the weekend to visit Elizabethtown's Vietnam Memorial Wall. The replica wall is located inside Elizabethtown Nature Park and was built to make sure Kentuckians who cannot make a trip to the World Memorial Wall in our nation's capital still have a way to pay their respects. The visiting veterans were all awarded a medallion, a coin, and certificates from the city thanking them for their service. Organizers say the day was also educational.
And then after that, we let school kids and everybody help them come up here and get tracings off the wall like that. And we have a kiosk up here with a book and paper and tape so they can do all that. And let the kids interview them. So we're teaching the kids and they're getting education off the wall too. And plus we're helping the veteran get the healing. And that's what we built this wall for, is healing. Not for tourist attraction. We want to help veterans.
Well, the wall is an 80% scale of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. It consists of more than 58,000 names of the brave men and women who served in Vietnam, both living and dead. A big moment in Louisville as more than 200 people gathered to take part in the first Louisville Hero 5K on Saturday. Well, for this 5K, the word hero stands for honor, earned, remembrance, owed, in honor of the fallen military personnel. Organizers hope to help people remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice well past Memorial Day weekend.
You know, we're on the tail end of Memorial Day, and oftentimes we don't think about it until that day comes around. And we just always want to remind people that the cost of freedom is not cheap, and we need to honor those who are willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice. So we're doing that here today and having some family fun.
Well, the event welcomed people of all fitness levels and abilities, and everyone who ran got a coin. Proceeds raised will benefit the newly established University of Louisville's Veteran Independent Scholarship Fund and Veterans Club, Inc. Nonprofit organizations across Perry County took part in a recovery fair hosted by the Rebound Center during the weekend, where people could come out to support a good cause by having a good time. Our Chandler Wilcox details the importance the impact support has been for those recovering.
Saturday's recovery fair offered people in Perry County a chance to get out and have fun, while supporting continued efforts to help those in need in their fight against addiction.
It's a community of resources for all people.
Working together as a community to help shed the stigma of drug addiction and the damaging consequences it can have on people needing some extra help along the way.
People just have the opinion that anybody that's using drugs is just no good and things like that, but it's generational, and we want to stop it.
Fighting a battle many in the area did not want to acknowledge in the not-too-distant past.
And I'm really proud that Hazard is doing this, because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, there was such a huge stigma on being an addict that you couldn't come forward and ask for help.
Recovery support organizations want people to understand what resources are available.
People feel like it's hopeless in this area, and we just want to all get together and spread the word that you can recover from it.
And events like the Recovery Fair at Perry County Park, where speakers shared their own recovery stories for all to hear, can give hope to people still struggling with addiction.
By it being public like this now, it's easier for people to come forward and admit that they need help and ask for that help and receive that help, because there's obviously so many different opportunities of places they can go get help.
Taking steps towards changing or even saving lives. In Perry County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Sunday marked opening ceremonies for the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games in Orlando. Well, this is video of the Kentucky delegation's entrance during the ceremony. Among those participating, several athletes from Central Kentucky, including multiple athletes and coaches from Lexington and Versailles. Games take place from now through the 11th. The U.S. labor market continues to grow, with the Bureau of Labor Statistics reporting the country added more than 390,000 jobs in May. But the restaurant industry in Kentucky is still struggling to return to where it was before the pandemic, and things were already not doing well then. Stacy Roof with the Kentucky Restaurant Association says a big part of the issue is a lack of staff.
I think most restaurants would tell you that the demand and their product, that's not the issue. The issue is that they could really be making up some ground that they lost the last couple of years if the staffing levels, were increased.
Well, she also says while some restaurants are increasing their wages, it will not be enough on its own, since many left during the pandemic for non-financial reasons. Madison County is set for an internet upgrade. Charter Communications is expanding its fiber optic networks to more than 800 homes and businesses in the county. It'll be a first for some areas. Charter owns and operates Spectrum. The new initiative begins today. State and local leaders will be there to kick it off. Kentucky animal shelter owners are begging for help. Rescues are unable to house any more animals. Well, Anita Spreitzer's Animal Rescue Paws for the Cause is at full capacity, and so she says she is doing every other shelter in the state. She says it's called a code red crisis situation. Shelters are seeing countless abandoned, neglected, and abused dogs and cats, more than any shelter can house.
We know that there's nothing we're going to be able to do about this. We're kind of defeated about it, but we have to keep going, because the ones that we can save their lives, we have to do it for them.
Well, Spreitzer says the most important thing right now is getting fosters so Paws for the Cause can place animals in homes. She says they're also encouraging anyone who can't foster to make a monetary donation.
6:09 here on this Monday morning. We're tracking some wild temperature swings as we head across the region. 49 in Clintwood, 70 in Somerset and Monticello. And no, those are not typos. A lot of 50s and 60s out there this morning. 55 Jonesville, 66 Prestonsburg and Jackson, 64 in Pikeville, and 59 in Wise and Manchester this morning. Regional temperatures 77 Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, 75 in New Orleans, 66 in Myrtle Beach. And I don't know if you saw or not, but the Dockeries are having a boy. Announced that this weekend there. Andrew's down at Myrtle Beach at our sister station WMBF. And then, of course, DC's at 62, Indianapolis at 63. So congratulations to the Dockeries this morning. 85 today, straight chances for rain pickup later. Sun gives way to clouds. And then as we look ahead this week, we're going to be seeing back and forth rain chances with that unsettled weather pattern. Today is the hot and humid start to the week, and then back to spring at times, especially toward the weekend with those temperatures. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, coming up, the U.S. sees an outbreak of mass shootings as lawmakers discuss the potential passing legislation in hopes of preventing more rampages.